Hello and welcome to episode 28 of Down to Watch. I am your host, Kahmeela, and I am joined by Jessica.
Hello!
Jessica is my co-host for the Scandalized podcast, and she has been here before, and she's also been on the Rugged Angel podcast, so Jessica is a regular.
Regular.
I love it.
Well.
I absolutely love it. So you guys are probably listening to this after Christmas, right before Christmas, or on Christmas Day, depending on when I get to it. So Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Or happy belated Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, Happy Thursday.
Rosh Hashanah passed already.
Yeah, so yeah. Happy day.
Happy day. I'm going to assume, happy January. Enjoy the snow!
Yay! All right, so we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about the non-traditional Christmas film Go today. And most people want to fight me on the fact that it's a Christmas movie, but it is a Christmas movie.
My sister yelled at me today about it.
Really? What
yeah.
She is like, no, absolutely not.
Well, because I was meeting my sister here to swap presents here in Larryville.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I have to do a podcast at 6, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, what are you doing? I was like, the movie Go. And she was like, that's random. And I was like, we're doing Christmas movies. She's like, not a Christmas movie. I was like, it is so a Christmas movie.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, that's right. There was like a Santa Claus hat and a rave. And she's like, yeah, that counts.
Well, not everybody wants like the fluffy, warm and cuddly Christmas. I mean, there's anything wrong with those kind of movies either, because I do enjoy, obviously, Charlie Brown Christmas.
Truth.
And
do you enjoy Charlie Brown Christmas?
a little bit, just a little bit. But I mean, like, I don't need to see like the Golden Retriever returns for Christmas. That
breaks my heart every time. I hate them, but I love them.
Yeah, sometimes I just want something a little more realistic. So we're gonna do Go.
Yes.
And there are going to be spoilers. So just so you know, if you haven't seen it. It's been quite a long time since this movie came out.
Yeah, it might be your fault. This
exactly.
is a spoiler.
If you haven't seen it by now, you probably weren't going to.
Jeez, what was it, like 98?
99 this movie came out.
Oh, my stars, that's a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like it was yesterday.
I know. I had been living here in Pittsburgh for a full year at that point.
I had been living in San Francisco for almost 3 years at that point.
Wow.
Yep.
So long ago. Such another life.
Yes.
99.
Can you imagine 99? It was when the .coms were just starting.
Yes, it was the boom, and everything was at our fingertips. There was a lot of, AOL was still in existence at that point.
Still get the CDs every time in the mail. Oh my God, it was the beginning of the Y2K scare.
Yes.
Do you remember being terrified?
Yes.
Yes.
I went home for that. I was home with my mom and sister for the Y2K thing. I didn't really think anything was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little, but there was something in the back of my mind, just like, just in case, I'd like to make good with God and everything.
I want to be with my mommy.
Exactly. And nothing happened. They didn't even wipe out our student loan debts.
I know.
If
only.
That's all I wanted,
Nothing
really.
happened. I remember we were at a house party in Oakland, setting off fireworks like you do.
Obviously.
And then when
Party
midnight
like it's
came,
1999.
Exactly. And we're like, we're going to be safe in this house just in case something happens. Well, we would not have been. These were like literally the caliber of people in the movie Go that we were like, it would have been useless. We were a bunch of like goofball, like post-punk kids. But I remember once midnight hit and everything was okay, we're like, yay! And so we ran across the street to the White Horse, which is the best gay bar in all of San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. I was thinking of some other place here in Pittsburgh. I think it's called the White Eagle or something.
That is also a fabulous place.
After Hours Club, I think it is.
Yes. Sometimes the movie Go in my previous life would coincide with the White Eagle. Fun fact. But yeah, that's what we did. Y2K, no one blew up, so we went and danced to. At that time, I would say like TLC.
Okay.
And
that makes sense.
Yeah, no scrubs.
Yeah, dude.
And that's how we rolled in the new year.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
I love how we both did the shoulders.
Yes, the shoulder.
Uh-huh. Had the arms going.
All right, so Go.
Go.
Let's get into this. Go, like we said, 1999 this was released. And here's a little summary that was on IMDb. Go tells the story of the events after a drug deal told from 3 different points of view. directed by Doug Liman and written by John August. Now, our own personal histories with this movie. I think I saw this in the movie theater. I'm pretty sure I did. And I was instantly into it because, like you were saying, like at that time, this was like at the beginning of the rave scene for me. Personally, like prior to this movie, I had never been to a rave, never known anything about raves and whatnot. And then after this movie, I was like, I must find a rave. This was not a cautionary tale for me. I just wanted. So, went to the theater, saw it, loved it. Purchased. I own the DVD, and we'll get into the love for Timothy Olyphant. And
oh my stars!
Yeah,
this
and
is my first introduction to him.
I wanted to say it was mine, but no, it's like my second. He was in Scream 2 2 years before this, and I saw him in that. Yeah.
Okay, so not my first introduction.
Yeah, but this was the first time that I really caught notice of what Tim had to offer.
And it was so much.
And what about you? When did you first see this?
So I don't believe that I saw it in the movie theater because the guy I was dating at the time would refuse to see this movie. He was like, "Oh no, you can watch that on your own." So I think that we had like HBO, or we must have had a very flush year because we apparently had a premium. Oh, I remember. I had TiVo. One of my early clients was TiVo, and they gave me a free TiVo. I was like one of the beta users for it.
Nice.
So somehow I had it on my TiVo, and it was like one of the ones that I saved, and I watched it constantly. So, but my rave years, this did not inspire me. My rave years were from like 92 to like 97.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So
yeah,
like,
where were you living?
When I was watching this, I was in San Francisco.
So like in between 92 and 97?
92 to 97, I was here in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
But I used to go up to New York to go to like Club Kid.
Yeah. I knew nothing about raves when I was in Toledo. Like 92, 97, I was in Toledo and like living the good girl lifestyle. I had no idea that this culture existed.
Oh no! Like I used to, and I'm sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this, but I lied to you so many times. But we would like leave on the weekends and be like, "Oh, I'm staying here and doing this, something wholesome," and we would go to New York City.
Oh my God.
And go to like raves.
You're so badass, Jess.
No. It should have been a cautionary. I should be a cautionary tale.
But you turned out great. Like you've just got. I mean, you may have made some bad choices growing up, but you turned out the better for it.
Thank
you. You are a very positive member of society, and
Thank you.
so I think you're okay. You're fine.
So that's what you get. So if you lie to your mom, things will turn out okay.
No, just joking. Just joking.
Never lie to your mommy. But yeah, we used to drive out. We'd go to the tunnel and all kinds of like the really like Limelight and Webster Hall and everything. And like I'm friends. Well, not anymore. I haven't talked to him in like 8 years. But like superstar DJ Kyoki and Michael Alig.
Yeah.
I met him once before he went to prison for killing someone. I also met Angel. So like
really,
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Wow.
91 we started going. Gee whiz.
Cats.
Inappropriate. Anyway.
But I did like DJ Kyoki was one of my favorite DJs.
He's really
and,
awesome.
Like Hubert, I think, was another one that I really liked to see.
And Josh Wink was another really good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still kind of miss like. I'm still drawn to that. It was more drum and bass is what I was more drawn to, and I'm still like every time I hear it, I'm just like, yeah, or like the booty bass, like the Detroit booty bass. Oh my God, like I would just really want somebody to point me in the direction of like if that stuff is still in existence right now, because I have like cassette tapes of like
totally, yep. Like I could go back and find them too, but it was always house for me. But I have one CD left. Platinum on Black Volume 2.
Oh.
And it is like my go-to.
Nice.
For like if I need a little bit of rave in my life.
Yeah, you just every once in a while you just need a little sprinkle.
Yeah. Just
enough to be like, yes, I remember this. I'm still cool to myself.
Exactly. Not really.
Not so much. So let's talk about our cast of characters. Now, it has a lot of big names, and I don't recall if like everybody was a big name at the time.
They weren't. I was reading that there was actually a lot of trepidation about. I think even like Jay Moore.
Yeah.
Moore,
I think.
Whatever. I think he was the only like name just because of like him being a stand-up comedian.
Really?
And he was on SNL, I believe.
Yeah.
But
for like a hot second.
yeah, and Katie Holmes.
Mm-hmm. And Scott Wolf.
Yeah, and there was actually trepidation about casting both of them in the film because they didn't want two TV stars.
Yeah. So we've got Katie Holmes as Claire, who I fucking hate Katie Holmes.
I know, and she's even like such a dish rag in this
She
movie.
is.
She was the worst part of Dawson's Creek.
Oh
and
my god.
The only thing
she's the reason why I never watched Dawson's Creek.
Oh my god. The only thing that made up for it was like the beautiful gloriousness of Pacey, aka Joshua Jackson.
Shout out Josh Jackson.
Yeah. By the way, Diane, what's your name?
Yeah.
His girlfriend.
Weiss? No, not Weiss. No.
That would be hilarious.
That would be amazing. I would love yeah, get it, Diane.
Diane, whatever.
Yeah, Kruger.
Yes. She is apparently cheating on Joshua Jackson with Norman Reedus. And so that whore is taking out two good men.
Oh, you bitch.
Yeah. And she's beautiful.
Oh my god.
Actress.
With Norman Reedus.
They were making out in a Lower East Side bar while Joshua Jackson is in the Philippines. And his dad was even like, oh, she's just a crazy chick. Like, it's cool. They have their fun. They have like a great relationship. Like, totally admitting, like, yeah, that happened.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, if you need to sit down and have some talk and some coffee cakes and whatnot, and Jess and I are here for you.
I'm happy to sit on your lap.
Just stroke your hair and tell you it's going to be okay.
Yep, we gotcha.
So, Katie Holmes plays the dish rag Claire. And we've also got Sarah Pauli, who plays Rona, who's basically kind of the tie-in. She's the main character in this film.
She's kind of like the thread that pulls it all together.
Yeah. Which I don't think I'd ever seen Sarah Pauli before this film, and I haven't seen much of her since. I know she's doing directing now.
She is directing. I think we were talking about on a previous podcast. I can't remember the name of the documentary that she did about her dad's life.
Right.
It was amazing.
I need to see that.
And she did another film, too, that was super good.
We also have Desmond Askew plays Simon, the fuck-up British guy. Which, is he British? Or because at some point he's like, I feel like he's doing a Scottish accent.
IMDb's about to tell me, but I mean, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's definitely like the little like goofball.
Yeah, he's like straight up, he's the fuck up. Like literally,
Totally.
like it's everything he does. He can't follow rules, or he doesn't want to follow the rules, and he's just fucking up left and right. But
I just love at the point where they're leaving in the car, and he's like, okay. He like got them out in the car, and he's like, all right, we're going to Mexico. We're gonna handle this. And Tay Diggs is just like, no, we're going home.
No, take my ass
lunatics.
home.
He is British.
Okay. So, and we've also got Nathan Bexton, who plays Manny, who is the another kind of fuck up in the circle with Claire and Rana, who's the one who ends up double dosing, damn near ODing.
Irritating little twerp.
Oh my god!
Ugh.
You had one job, just drive me there.
Seriously,
and then
dude.
you steal which? Okay, we'll get there. And we have Scott Wolf from Party of Five.
Bailey, who I will refer from here on out as Bailey.
He plays Adam, but I guess it doesn't matter. He's going to be referred to as Bailey.
He will.
Jay Moore, who plays Zach, Adam, a.k.a. Bailey's boyfriend. Timothy Oliphant, who plays the drug dealer Todd Gaines.
Oh, my God.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
That's
what Timothy Oliphant does to me.
It's just all sorts of reaction, and my body just reacts in sort of in random ways. I don't understand. Tay Diggs, another beauty, who plays Marcus, the chocolate man with that bright sunshine smile. So, funny thing. So my sister, who lives in Atlanta, she's telling me, like a couple weeks ago, she was telling me about her friend's bachelorette party. And then she was like, yeah, and we saw Tay Diggs. And then she like starts to talk about something else. And I'm like, whoa. I need you to stop right there. It's like, I don't care about what snacks you guys had after this. You saw Tay Diggs? She's like, yeah, he was at the restaurant.
Oh
he was sitting at the table next to us, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you saw Tay Diggs in person.
This is the second time she has done this,
yes!
too, by the way.
Yes!
By the way.
I just gloss right over it, just, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like sometimes my sister knows me not.
No, because she should know, once again, with the other actor who she saw, who was the other actor that she saw in
Was
person?
it Peter Stormare?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, she tried to get that. Like, she sent me a blurry picture of him and tried to get me to tell her who it was, and I couldn't. But Taye Diggs, she should have called me immediately.
Where's the suitcase full of Taye Diggs at your house?
Not
I don't
here.
see it.
Nope, didn't show up. Nope. So, yeah.
So thanks, Kahmeela.
Yeah, she doesn't care about Taye Diggs, apparently. And one of her friends, they were all trying to, like, get, like, the bride-to-be to go up there and talk to him, blah, blah, blah. One of her friends went up and talked to him. He was like, you know, blah, blah, maybe she should come over, yada, yada, whatever. He didn't come over. The bride-to-be didn't go talk to him, but the friend did get a photo with him. And it was like, Kahmeela, just... From now on, if you see anybody, just shoot me a text, give me a call, ask me, we'll suss it out if I care or not. We'll make that decision then. Yep. But I just need to know at that moment.
This is what sisters do. They go up and they take a video of Taye Diggs saying, Kahmeela, I love you. Will you marry me?
That's all.
That's all.
That's all I wanted.
Yep. Ooh.
That's all. I mean, we could have done nothing more than that. It would have taken like 5 seconds out of his life.
If he was like, no photos, no pictures, then she could just be like, can you call her?
Yeah.
And so, you know, you're laying in bed, cause it's like bachelorette party time.
Right.
And Taye Diggs calls.
And then I'm like, nuh-uh.
No.
Let's just say this is real.
Yeah. And that would be awesome. So someone out there make this happen for us.
Yeah. So, Kahmeela, I'm going to need you to up your game on celebrity stalking, because apparently you're in a better position to do it in Atlanta than I am. Like, she's seen like the cream of the crop. I'm going to have to give her, like, a list of everybody of importance to me from Walking Dead. Because if she runs into Norman Reedus, and because she wouldn't know. Nope. She would have no idea.
She'd be like, who's that dirty dude?
Exactly.
I bet he smells.
Right. She'd be clutching at her purse and be like, oh, my God, don't walk too close to this guy.
And you'd be like, no, rub against him.
Tell me how he smells. I want to know all of it. We've also have William Fichtner, who plays Burke, Officer Burke or Detective Burke, or
always
something.
Creepy, always weird.
He's always.
He has a really nice butt, though, which I forgot that his butt is featured so prominently in this film.
It's so prominent. It should have been listed in the credits.
Seriously. And I was rewatching yesterday, and I was like, oh.
Well, hello.
Well, look at that.
Yes, it is a nice tight boom.
Yes, it is.
Well, at least it was in '99. I don't know what it's looking like now.
I'm not interested in knowing.
And Breckin Meyer, a '90s kid.
Every '90s movie.
Yes, who's Breckin Meyer, who is basically known as not Seth Green. So, I mean, no disrespect to Breckin, but it was like either or. It was like they were kind of interchangeable for a while.
They're both
in the 90s.
Very tiny. They're both very quippy.
They're both kind of red. I think they're like Breckin's kind of a ginger.
Yeah, I think he's like a darker ginger.
Yeah.
And Seth Green is like the lighter ginger.
Yes.
And they both have had equally non-impressive post careers, but I believe that Seth Meyers had him on. Not Seth Meyers, Seth Green. That would have been funny. Poor Seth Meyers, I apologize for bringing you into this.
It's like, hey.
Seth Green had a really awful, terrible show with some other dude recently.
Seth Green did? Oh, yes. I remember that. I tried to watch it, tried to support it, and was like, absolutely not. You will not pull me into this bullshit.
It was.
I don't even remember who else was on there.
It was offensive, racist,
Giovanni
sexist.
Ribisi.
Yes.
Oh, it was another love of mine.
Yes.
Like, I was like, I wanted to love it so much.
Nope. It was horrible. It was so offensive that I was like, I kind of need to watch it to see how offensive it gets. It was terrible.
It was awful. And I'm pretty sure it lasted maybe for like 20 minutes.
There was like almost a whole. I think it was
Are
like
you
it was
serious?
like a 13 episode deal. Yeah.
And they played all 13 episodes on air.
I watched all 13 episodes.
Dads. Was it called Dads?
Yes. But I believe he had Breckin Meyer come on for like a little like, hey bro, from the 90s, I want to make sure that you get that new kitchen or something. I'm sure you've got child support to pay.
Well, Breckin was on a show with Mark Paul Gosselaar. And I feel like it was a USA show or a TNT show.
I think it was.
I don't know how long it lasted. Never watched an episode of it.
It feels like it was a blip.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But Seth Green, he has done very well for himself behind the cameras. Exactly. Robot chicken. So
So
I feel
good.
like, you found your niche, friend.
Mhm.
Let's keep it there.
And
Like,
it's hilarious.
it's amazing. Like, I
Robot
absolutely
chicken's so
love
good.
it. So, like, leave it there, friend.
Yeah.
James Duvall, which I'm assuming he's not any relation to James Duvall
To Robert Duvall?
or Robert Duvall. Yes.
Yeah, I would think he'd have a bigger career if he was.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen him in anything.
I
since
just
then.
I just recall him. He was in like, and I don't recall the director's name, but it was like these fucked up movies in the early '90s. Doom Generation.
Yes, he was at. Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
That guy.
I think Rose McGowan was also in
She
there.
sure was.
Yeah. And there were
Oh, I can't
Greg
remember
Araki.
Greg Araki, yes.
There were 3 movies, and I think they're supposedly part of. They're all a trilogy.
11 to 45.
I love that movie. It was Roy Cochrane.
Yeah. I don't think that's him though. I can't remember.
It might not
I'm
be it,
Googling.
but yeah. So yeah, I haven't seen James Duvall since then. He plays Singh, who's friends with Brecken and Tay and Simon.
But those were still like such 90s. I mean, there are movies like where you're like, that is a 90s
Yeah.
movie. Like Doom Generation,
Mhm.
Go, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Right.
like,
Can't hardly wait.
yes.
Yeah.
The one with anything that Rachel, what's her name?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm frying eggs. She was in the drug commercial. This is your brain
I don't
on
remember her
drugs.
name. Rachel something. You're right.
Yeah. But all those, they're such 90s movies.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And there's a nice little honorable mention. Like, that's our main cast, but there's an honorable mention for Melissa McCarthy, who just pops in for about 2 minutes and is delightful.
know,
And this
she's
is her
very
film
cute.
debut.
She's so giggly.
I love it. It's just like,
Mhm.
oh, Melissa, I just want to squeeze your cheeks.
And it was back when she was still like really cute. Like
Oh
she
my
was a
God.
Sookie in Gilmore Girls. And now she's just like, she's taken a turn and I think she's just mean.
Has she real? Oh yeah, like in her films, yeah, she
Yeah,
is
she's always just playing like this really mean
just real
person.
snarky.
And
But
I'm like,
I
why
kind
don't
of
you
like.
just go back to the like, in Gilmore Girls, and she's like, and that's like her little Rory dance, and she was like real clumsy and cute, and I just enjoyed her so much. When she get drunk on Gilmore Girls, it was hilarious.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to. That's what I'm doing for my Christmas break. I'm going to catch up on my magazines. I have a stack of magazines that I have not read yet. I'm pretty behind on my magazines.
Are they in that drawer there?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
right here in
oh my
this drawer.
goodness.
It's not all of that. It's the one drawer up here.
Okay, my stack of magazines I have to catch up on is literally as high as this table, so feel good.
Yeah, I saw somebody else, another friend of mine, had posted something. She was like, maybe I shouldn't have had like 5 subscriptions to magazines. She has like a stack, like literally. Like, I'm like, oh, well, I'm all right. I'm doing okay. I'm not
Yeah.
as bad as I thought.
It's like Vanity Fair, Vogue, and National Geographic. I believe that those are the only 3 magazines that I have. It's like this high.
It's tough. I have, and I only subscribe to the men's magazines, GQ and Esquire. But every once in a while, I'll pick up like a Real Simple or an Ebony
Yeah.
or In Style. Every once in a while, depends on
Mhm.
who's on the cover. But an Entertainment Weekly. Like, I had to stop. I did have a subscription to Entertainment Weekly, but that weekly is too much. It's bullshit.
Well, and also it's like 5 pages long
Right.
now. What
It's
the
like,
hell?
I can find, like, I've seen tweets longer than most of these articles.
Yes.
We're gonna have to do better.
And all their stuff is online. And it's like all the Vanity Fair articles, I read them online before it actually arrives at my house. And I'm like, I don't need to read this. I already read it.
But the process apparently is just too difficult for me to just cancel my subscription. That's on like auto renew through
I know.
Amazon.
That's why I'm stuck. They got us.
I've had the subscriptions for like 4 years. I'm like, I don't know.
And I'm like, well, apparently it's only like $8 a year.
I know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
It saves me from having to go look for it whenever like Norman Reedus or whomever hot boy of the week is
Right.
on the cover of GQ. I don't have to go out and look for it.
And
Like,
honestly, you never know when you're gonna like want to make a collage or
Exactly.
decoupage. So, you're ready.
I got magazines for days.
You just bought a new house.
I
You're gonna
am
need to like decoupage some new furniture. I know it's totally your style.
That's me. You got me.
Shabby chic, Norman Reedus.
All on my shoes. It's like the trim of my bathroom is Norman Reedus.
Let's do this. Can Dan hear us?
Nope. Surprise, honey! Look at that. You're gonna see like Norman Reedus, Timothy Oliphant.
Could you imagine? Oh my God! It's like veins would pop.
It's like no. You just start like peeling and just like ripping things off.
Fooled you, Mod Podge.
You're gonna have to get a whole new trim. You're gonna have to start from scratch.
Yep.
Okay, good luck with that. I'm gonna go shower. So that is our cast of characters. Now, one of the things that I love about this movie is that it's it's got basically like the same day or the same events as told from three different points of views, and I enjoy movies like that when you.
Me too.
I like to see the different points of views from folks and how they differ. And we start off with they're telling us Rana's story, which is played by Sarah Polley, and all these kids, Rana, Katie Holmes, Manny, and Simon work at the grocery store, and Rana is in danger of being evicted because she owes about $400 in back rent or something, and so she's stressed out about that. Simon convinces her to take his shift so he can go to Las Vegas. She takes the shift, and this is where all hell breaks. This is what starts everything, just a rolling. So, do we want to start with this Rana's story?
Let's do that.
Okay. So she takes the shift, and while she's working is when she's approached by Adam and Zach. Bailey and Zach. Who are soap opera stars or TV stars.
Yeah, I think they're like a really bad
cop show.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're a couple. And
Secret couple.
Yes, that's right. Where they're not out.
Spoiler alert, they're a hairdresser.
Oh, and also Katie. Because when she sees them on the TV, she's like, "Hey, guys are so hot."
She knows.
Well, yeah.
She's got good gaydar.
She gets it. So they approach Rana, and they're looking for Simon, the British guy, to buy some ecstasy. And she makes 20 at 20, which just so happens to be the magical number where where drug dealing turns into intent to
sell turns into trafficking.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep. I literally just watched it yesterday.
I just watched it like 2 hours ago, so I don't know why.
It's not that I know these laws back and forth.
No.
Laws from 1999.
So they pull Rana in it. She decides that she'll go ahead and do this because she wants to she needs more money for rent, I guess.
She's a plucky entrepreneur.
She is. So like we said, like Rana is the common thread here, and also the common location is the rave that everybody is going to at this night called Mary, M-A-R-Y.
Merry Christmas.
Xmas.
Like the lady.
Not like you marry a chick. Like her name is Mary. So Rana, against the better judgment of Katie and Dishrag and Manny. I don't think Manny really has much to say about it, but Dishrag tries to tell her not to do this. She's going straight to the main drug dealer, Todd Gaines, a.k.a. Timothy Oliphant. And, wow, I just completely got lost in the thought.
But the problem there is that she's skipping a rung on the ladder, which is a no-no, apparently.
Apparently, in drug dealer etiquette, you don't do that.
Even though she knows it's Timothy Oliphant selling these drugs, she does not ring that doorbell. Simon rings the doorbell. And here's where we get into the issue.
This is where things get great. Because first of all, I'd like to talk about how lucky that little girl, who was just basically kind of a featured extra, who played his girlfriend-ish type person, someone he just had sex with or whatnot.
His 8 p.m. gal.
Yeah, she just she goes and she's leaving, and she just gives him makes out for a good solid 2 minutes, and just chest rubs and tongue and then leaves. My God, how fucking psyched would you have been to get that on your call sheet? I'm doing what?
Yeah.
This is what's happening today?
Oh, wait, you're not paying me? That's fine.
Totally cool. Let me pay you.
$100. Yeah.
Let me give you something. Because I feel like I'm taking full advantage of the situation.
Yeah, so if I had been working on that movie set, I would have clubbed that girl the day of her shoot and hid her body somewhere and then been like, oh, she's not showing up. Look, I fit perfectly in her costume. Yeah. Little fat rolls hanging out. I'd be like, it's perfect.
Roll camera. Action. Let's do this. And I have told you the Timothy Oliphant story. My Timothy Oliphant story.
I'm cocking my head in a curious manner.
When I met him?
What?
I've never told you the story.
No.
Okay. All right, so, and join us, gentle listeners, on this journey. So, picture it, Sicily. So, it's the day after Dan and I's wedding.
Intrigue.
And we are having our brunch with, all the family members and whatnot afterwards at, what is that? I think it's the Renaissance downtown.
Oh my God, you have told me this story.
Okay.
But no, you need to keep telling it
Okay.
because this is an amazing story.
So we are sitting there with my family, like mom and sister, Dan's family, brother and his dad, and I've got some cousins there and whatnot. And I'm facing, my seat is facing the lobby of the hotel. And I don't even have my glasses on, mind you. Let's keep this in mind.
That is how powerful his presence is.
Right. So I see this man sauntering towards the dining room.
I can't imagine that he can walk any other way except to saunter.
Exactly. And that's what immediately, that was like, what? Who's this?
Just sex rolling on in.
Exactly. And I'm like, is that Timothy? And then he walks in, he walks right past our table. I'm like, that's Timothy Oliphant. And nobody at my table knows who Timothy Oliphant is.
Especially not your sister.
Exactly. Nobody knows. I'm like, that's Timothy Oliphant. And everyone's like, who? That's Timothy Oliphant. Somebody, nobody knows. My mom's like, did you go to high school with him?
Oh my goodness.
Like, never mind.
Eat your quiche.
So, after I finish, like, panting and fanning myself and whatnot, he is sitting, like, literally, like, probably, like, the wall over there. Like, that's how far away he's from us.
For those of you at home, it's about 12 feet.
Yeah. And so I get up the gumption, and I'm like, I'm in the middle of, like, people. I'm like, let me out. I'm like in a booth seat. I'm like, let me out. So I go over, and I say hello, and I'm like, introduce myself. Blah, blah, blah. I may have said something about I just got married yesterday. I don't know. But I did say. Exactly. But I do recall asking for a photo. And he was like, and I think I prefaced it with, once you're done with your breakfast or whatever, he's like, yeah, sure. When I'm done, I'll come on over.
That was a respectful fan.
Thank you. So I go back over and gush some more and then try to play as cool as possible and be normal. And we all eat and whatever and blah, blah, blah. And then when he's done, he comes over and he's like, are we taking this picture or what? And I'm like, out of the way, people. Move.
Dan, I don't need you anymore. It was probably a Sunday. Those papers weren't filed yet. They might have been signed, but they weren't legal.
The ink's not dry.
No stamp.
And so I get out and he's like, is it everybody and I remember this and I regret saying it. He was like, is everybody just you? I was like, it's just me. Nobody else knows who you are.
That's the way to make them love you. You're not that famous. Check yourself, buddy. You're in Pittsburgh.
And so Dan took the picture, and I'm still kind of peeved about the way Dan was sitting down and did not stand up to take the picture. So the photo is from a lower angle, and I look terrible in it.
Amateur.
Right. And from that was the moment when we got those photos back when I told Dan, okay, this is how you take my picture.
Do you think maybe he did that on purpose?
No. He had no. I'm going to say no. That he knew better. Like, he did not know any better. That, and I told him, and from that point on, he always takes my picture from a higher angle. Like,
right.
He's always very aware of that. So.
Hold on a second. I'd like to step back to when you got the pictures back. Were these included in a roll of your wedding pictures?
Probably.
I love that fact.
I think they were. I don't even. Yeah. Yeah, they were. They absolutely were. Because I remember I gave my mom my camera to take pictures at the wedding, and that was like.
Here's the rehearsal dinner. Oh, here's me getting ready with my family.
Right.
Here's us walking down the aisle. Here's our first dance, and like on Timmy the Elephant. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you can take those.
Yeah.
It's just good. Can we get this one blown up?
Yep. This one, 3x5, 8x10.
Some wallets.
Yeah. Can you also take the picture of us and then put a tiny picture in the corner, like in a dream sequence?
So yes, that was my Timothy Oliphant story.
I love it. He's a beautiful man.
Yes, So, yeah. So this moment when he's introduced in Go is the moment that I fell in love with him.
I take it this is not a social call.
I need a favor.
Wow, I didn't know we were such good friends, Rana. Because if we were, you would know I give head before I give favors, and I didn't give my best friends head, so chance of you're getting a favor right now is pretty fucking slim. You might try just telling me what you want to buy.
20 hits of ecstasy.
You come here out of the blue, asking for 20 hits, just so happens 20 is the magic number where intent to sell becomes trafficking?
Todd, I would never fuck you like that.
How would you fuck me?
So, yeah.
And then he's like, stand up.
I love
and
it.
turns the music real loud.
So damn hot.
And he clearly says, show me your tits.
Right.
And she's just like, game. Like, she has no idea.
Doesn't
She's
know
just
what's
like,
going on.
She's never bought these kind of drugs before. She assumes that's what happens when you skip a rung.
So Simon has to do this every time?
So, yeah, she turns around and, you know, he says the whole shebang.
Yeah. And I love the fact that the song that plays, and, like, one of the awesome things about this movie is the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And the song that plays is Massive Attack Angel, which I love this song. And it gets used a lot in movies. And one of the fun facts is that this movie is called Go, and the song plays in it. And there's another movie called Stay, and it was also prominently featured in that movie. It's a Ryan Gosling movie.
That is a
Actually.
very fun fact.
Yes, it's really interesting, but it's also a bunch of other movies too. But yeah, it's a neat song. So yeah, so Rana gets her drugs from him. She goes to give them to Bailey and Zach, and it turns out that it's a setup.
It is totally a setup. Yep. Because in the next section, so I believe that they come in not till section 3.
Right.
Is you get their story is that they have been basically busted for drugs, and Bailey and Zach.
Right.
And instead of like going to prison, etc., and making this like big PR thing, they agree to, I think as William Fichtner says, like, oh, we want to get like the first person, like keep going up the ladder and busting them to get to the big person. And so they're doing this like undercover thing, and they're all like wired up. And am I going out of order? Do you have an order plan?
No.
Okay, good. So, because my favorite
Taking
part,
it organically.
my favorite part is when she goes into the house. You know, it's obviously like a weirdo setup house.
Right.
And what you don't see in the first act is what Jay Moore is saying to her. And you just see her like coming up and looking panicked because she's like, "Hey, I need to go to the bathroom."
Right.
She can tell like something's up.
Right.
She goes to the
They're all
bathroom.
giving off like such weird vibes.
Totally, and it was like the orange juice.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can I get one of those OJs?
Right.
And yeah, cops totally blew it. They blew it. And what you don't see is Jay Moore like comes up and is like, "Go."
Yes.
And he like whispers it in her face. And so she's like in the bathroom panicking, like flushing down
all the drugs,
eviction money down the toilet. Actually, only 18 because Manny, that little turd,
ate 2 of them.
Ugh. The driver, by the way.
Yes, exactly. So you like doubly fucked your friend.
Exactly. Like, why would you do that? She's doing this so she doesn't get evicted.
Right.
You're gonna steal drugs from her. She's gonna go inside, look like an asshole. I only have 18.
Yeah.
Like,
what if it had been for real thing?
Right.
Then
you are a terrible friend,
he
sir.
Sucks.
Awful. Like, she should have left him to die in that alley at the end.
You got what you deserved.
Yeah.
Because actually, yes. And so like the precursor for this is that when Tim Oliphant gives her the drugs, he's like, this is like grade A pharmaceutical ecstasy. Like, don't give any, like, don't make sure nobody takes any more than 1 hit.
They're gonna be frying their brain.
Because they're gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
And old dude just takes 2, and he's like sweating and tripping balls.
Totally. And it happens like in between her leaving the house where she gets out because she's like,
now what?
Yeah, she flushes the drugs. And she's like, okay. And the cop's like, oh, so we have a deal? And she's like, what are you, Monty Hall? Which I love that.
Right.
I don't think many people in
Caught
1999 got
right.
that. And she's like, oh, should I be drinking this beer? I'm only like 16 or whatever.
Yeah.
And they leave, and she's like, fuck. And then Rana is a very ingenious little girl.
I don't think that thought would have ever crossed my mind to go about it that way. And like, you know what? I'm sorry, dude. I'm just gonna have to blow you for the money I owe.
Darn it, Timothy Oliphant.
I guess we also forget to mention that she has these drugs on retainer, basically.
They are on retainer.
And she leaves her friend Claire behind as collateral.
Yep,
So
that
she's
is
supposed
the
to go
favor.
get the rest of this money that she owes Oliphant and bring it back, but she does not have this. So she, after she's flushed them, she goes to the grocery store where they work and they steal a bunch of allergy medicine.
Yep, and I love when she's like, it's like being at the eye doctor. She's driving the car, and she's like, A or B, like showing him the pills,
Right.
like, what does it look like? And he's like rolling and sweating.
He's rolling his face off,
Yeah,
and he's like, B,
And
like
she's
baby
like,
aspirin.
I hate you so much. But the best part is when they stop at the grocery store, he has the romantic, crazy interlude.
It's so
dance,
weird. It's so weird.
And they're
He's-
like making out with cucumbers.
and like some Macarena, like a souped up version of Macarena. He's like has this. His rolling fantasy is he's like tangoing and dancing seductively with one of the cashiers.
one of the older cashiers.
Yes, and they're like rubbing vegetables all over themselves, and cucumbers, and
meanwhile, he's just crazy and going boop 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 at the grocery store. So very ingenious. You know, she rolls back to his place to pick up Claire.
Yeah.
Who had a very uncomfortable conversation with Timothy Oliphant.
Which is amazing. He's like, "Do you want to get laid for Christmas?" She's like, "No, no." And
Not
he's
at
like,
all.
"Do you not want to get laid, or you just not want to get laid with me?" And just like everything in the scene, like his whole demeanor, just him. He's not really moving much, but like he is just doing an amazing job of he's making her very uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable.
At the same time, it's extremely sexy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, I don't know. It's like the whole his whole apartment is very much like any drug dealer's apartment that I have seen in the past.
Random boxes of,
Yes.
I would assume, stolen goods.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it is just like
a
everything
giant
is kind of
speaker system.
everything's kind of mismatched. There's no like the couch is really cheap, but like the speaker system is that shit's fucking top notch.
The
And
kitchen is a giant mess.
and he's
I can
just got,
only assume the bedroom has satin sheets.
of course it does. Maybe a waterbed
Oh, could you imagine? That would have been so 1999.
with a mirrored headboard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was very fancy.
Oh,
So, there's a lot going on with that. And he pulls because her name's Claire, he pulls
Yeah.
the Pretty in Pink.
yes.
Or not Pretty in Pink, 16.
16
Nope.
Breakfast Club.
We're just going to keep naming Don Hughes movies here.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. He pulls that on her. So, Rana comes in, and she's like, yeah, so I'm just going to, return these. And
He gets real snarky about it.
what do you say? He's like, oh, I'm just going to go get a return slip from the back. Which was pretty cute.
Yeah.
And then the great exit line is, hey, Rana, I just did you a favor. She's like, and here I thought you were giving me head.
Hey.
Nice.
Which actually, I think my favorite line from Oliphant is when Rana's trying to convince him to do this favor for her, and she's like, "I wouldn't fuck you like that," and he's like, "How would you fuck me?"
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You're like, good point. Also, I could call the police.
right.
It could happen.
So then we take on to Simon's story
Yes.
with Simon and his friends. Simon is friends with Taye Diggs, not Seth Green, and James Duvall.
Correct.
Which I find kind of odd how Simon and Taye Diggs even became friends.
I also find it odd because Taye Diggs is clearly very irritated by him.
Yes, like everything this man does, he is
Yeah.
like, "Fuck you, you're you're an idiot." Like, why?
I assume they met in some sort of mandated driving school or something like that.
Fun fact about that: Taye Diggs, being a native New Yorker, he had to take driving lessons. He didn't know how to drive, so he had to take driving lessons for this role. And so Simon and his boys go to Las Vegas, and again, all hell breaks loose. Like
Pretty much off the bat.
like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
They get there. Taye is telling them stories about his tantric sex life that he's having. The boys, Brecken and
Sing.
Singh, or I think Tiny is Brecken's name. Tiny and Sing, they're all there at a buffet, and they all like load up on buffet shrimp for $5 all you can eat kind of thing.
That's what you do in Vegas.
Yeah.
You gotta maximize that $21.95.
I feel like that's not a good idea at any point in time.
Which we learned
was
not a good idea.
And so they're blowing up the bathroom.
Yup. Both of them clutching themselves, fighting over the fact that there's only one bathroom.
Which I find it an interesting choice in the script that, we've got the 4 guys that all go to Las Vegas, but, like, all the shit really happens between, like, just Tay and Simon.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we've got these other guys, they, get sick pretty early on. They're, like, left to their own devices in the hotel room. So they're not really they're part of this adventure until they're, like, the beginning and the end, but they don't really get the meat of everything. So I just kind of wonder why we had to have 4 characters to begin with.
I think for, like, the comedic effect in the car there and the way back.
Yeah.
But then, like, to deal with the 4 of them escaping, the 2 strippers and the 2 dudes.
That would have been way too much.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So, anywho.
And plus, they're both kind of irritating.
Yeah, exactly. So those guys are left there in their hotel room, and
which has an
adjoining
suite, which is key to the story.
Yes. So Tay and Simon go down to gamble, and
right. With Todd's card because he was apparently a member there.
Yes. So they have Todd gains the drug dealer's MasterCard or whatever.
Which is curious to me that he is apparently a really, really awful drug dealer because he's given this girl he doesn't know free ecstasy on a retainer.
Absolutely.
He's given this fuck up Simon his
right.
credit card.
He should know Simon well enough to know that he's a fuck up.
Yes. So I think Todd Gaines is kind of a dork. Not a very good drug dealer. Not a very good person.
Todd's not up on his game like 100%.
Note, I said Todd, not Timothy Olyphant.
Yes, Todd, not Tim. Todd.
Yes.
So Simon loses a bunch of gambling money, and he decides to go crash a wedding.
Like you do.
And he hooks up with 2 bridesmaids.
So nerdy. Oh my stars. They are the funniest, goofiest little girls. You're just like, that's why guys like to go to weddings.
Right.
You're gonna get to nail girls like that.
Exactly. And they start kind of teasing him about his accent. And he's like hitting his accent super hard.
Oh.
Because he knows what he's doing at this point.
Knows
Like he's
the ladies love an accent.
Oh, the American broads are so easy.
That's so true.
So if you're from over there, then where did you meet these friends of yours? who I don't see.
The others already knew each other. Marcus and I met in traffic school.
Traffic school?
Listen, I'm a good driver, I am. I learned everything from American television.
Oh, great.
Hunter, Magnum PI. Knight Rider's an excellent program. Are you having a go at me here?
Do you want to be getting high with us?
And so he hooks up with them, and he gets himself involved in a 3-way and sets a hotel room on fire.
Because the girl can't hold the weed smoke in her lungs.
I have never heard anything like that in my life.
So she puts tissue paper not tissue paper, Kleenex,
Yeah.
in her nose.
2 plugs up.
Lights them on fire in her nose, and then gets somehow at the same time as lighting her face on fire, she throws them out and then is so overcome with passion for Simon, she hops on top of him. How does that happen, ladies? How does that happen?
And while they're in the heated throes of passion, the drapes are catching a flame.
Yes.
And Simon has his first tantric experience.
Which, I have to tell you, Tay Diggs in the car ride there talking about his tantric sex, I was like,
tell me more.
Do tell. Let's talk about this a little bit more. Because I adore him, and Idina Menzel, you are an idiot.
Oh my God. I really want to know what happened. Like, what? Was it her? Was it him?
I don't know. They're apparently very friendly.
Of course they are.
So I think it was like non-scandalous.
Whatever. Boring.
Ugh.
Who just... All right, that's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
Whatever. He is free and loose. close, and I'm still really regretting not. He's the one Hedwig I didn't see
Oh no.
on Broadway.
Oh man.
The timing. He was only on for like 10 weeks or something,
Really?
and it was like right during like Dan had something really big going on. We couldn't make it up to see him, so
That sucks.
fiddlesticks.
I wonder if there's ever going to be another chance to do that again. Is Hedwig still on?
They closed.
Oh,
He was the
really?
last, yeah. So he does a lot of Broadway though.
When was the last time that Hedwig was, like before this? Had it been
Oh,
a long
it had
time?
never been on Broadway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was always just off Broadway.
Oh.
Yeah. I imagine they'll do another revival in a few years. John Cameron Mitchell will probably need some plastic surgery 8 to 10 years from now, so I see it happening.
I wonder if they would put them on DVD and release them that way.
Why isn't more Broadway on DVD?
Right. That is like cash cow right there.
Seriously.
Especially with something like this, like with Hedwig.
Right.
Like, and you've had like 4 different Hedwigs.
Yeah.
For like the run of it, like and big names, like
Yeah.
I would absolutely pay for that and like
Yeah.
purchase each one, sure.
NPH, I mean, all of it. They're starting to do like all of the opera, like Met Opera, etc. Is being shown in movie theaters and PBS and everything. So it's like starting, but
It's
like
gonna be
Hamilton. Why isn't Hamilton like being broadcast
Yeah.
or something? They've only been on Broadway for like a couple months now,
oh wow,
and they've already started their Chicago tour.
damn,
Like they're on fire.
wow.
So maybe things will start to change.
Hopefully, I
Yeah.
mean, because not everybody can get up to Broadway and
Not
go
everyone
see
can
the stuff.
afford $400 seats.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so poor Simon is running through or escapes and leaves the poor bridesmaids to fend for themselves with the fucking
He's
hotel
done.
on
He
fire.
runs with literally like his jeans on his butt and a pillow in the front
Yeah,
or something. Just
he's carrying his clothing. He's butt naked, and throughout this time, Tay has been wearing this very bright yellow blazer, and he's been experiencing some people not appreciating his fashion talent, his fashion skills.
It's true.
Before, when they go down to the casino, Simon makes a joke about his blazer, and then while Tay is in the bathroom, he's washing his hands and like preening and primping in the mirror. He's like,
It's very cute. He's like, well, look at me, I'm a hot dude.
and some random dude
Some Texan.
asks him for a paper towel, and then he tips him $1 because he thinks he's a bathroom attendant.
I am not a bathroom attendant. The way he says it is my favorite.
It's like he's trying to bring down. He's trying to hide an accent. I think it's. I don't know where he's from. I guess he's from New York or something.
Yep.
But there's like it sounds like he's trying to hide some sort of like Jamaican accent or something.
Broadway people over enunciating.
Everything. Like when he says, "Is your British ass happy now?"
Yeah.
He
Well, he did really hit that hard in this movie.
Yes. And there were a couple lines like that.
He did, yeah. But yeah, he rolls out the door. He
Yeah.
runs into Simon, and they're like, "Let's go. We're done with this."
Yeah, and some rando dude like pulls in with his.
And they're like standing near the valet, and he had like a Rari. I found out this is the new word for Ferraris.
Oh,
I'm
a
pretty
Rari.
hip. It's a Rari.
Wow.
It wasn't a song. I've been listening to Usher. Please
Oh my
don't judge me.
Oh my god. Okay.
You're like, that's a
We don't.
conversation for another
Yes,
time.
we don't have time for this.
But yeah, throws him the keys.
It's like, yeah, keep it close. It's another $10 in it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, fuck it. And they take his car and off they go to the strip club.
Vegas broke them. And they're like, let's go see some titties.
And Simon has one rule to follow.
One.
That's it.
No hands.
No. Even before we got there.
Oh, yes.
Don't order champagne. Anything else but champagne. And he's like immediately mesmerized by the boobies.
I would like your most expensive bottle of champagne, please.
So they go in with these busted up strippers. Like they're not the best looking broads.
No.
That I can't imagine that they would have been the ones to. Okay, so
You're like, yeah, no.
so he has another rule. Don't touch the strippers.
Mm-hmm.
He touches the strippers, gets them in trouble, and ends up shooting a bouncer.
You summarized that very quickly.
I know you got places to be, so that's basically it. So yeah, and then off they go because they've shot a bouncer. They escape, and now they go back to the hotel, and they're like, "Dudes, we gotta go."
Yeah.
So here's something that I would like
Well,
you.
they're being chased
Right.
down the strip.
Yes.
There's a huge, like, and it's the Magic Carpet Ride,
I love
like,
it. Yeah.
remix.
Yes.
And they're like, shoo, shoo. It was a really cool, like, car scene.
The bouncer and I guess the club owner, which happens to be the bouncer's dad.
Correct.
They're both extremely pissed off, and they
Yes.
start to chase them. And they still have the credit card that belongs to Todd Gaines and all this. So the boys, they manage to get back to the hotel, and they tell their friends, "We gotta go. We gotta get the fuck out." And their friends are, they're follow suit. They're like, "Okay, we gotta go." So this is something that people out there, you should probably check your close friends and your family and circle, and ask them, if I come to you in a panic and say, we need to go now, will you go now or will you ask questions? That's
Yes.
how you figure out who to trust and
Yep.
who is going to be on your team and who's worth it.
Yep.
Because in the zombie apocalypse, there's not time for questions.
There are no questions.
Like
We'll
maybe
talk on the run.
exactly. While
Yep.
we're on our way to where we're going, I'll explain to you.
Yep.
But yeah.
I need friends who I'm like, we have to go now, and they're in the silverware drawer grabbing knives. They've got bottles of water and
They've got a
sensible
go bag.
shoes.
A go bag
Exactly.
already.
Yep. That's my kind of friend.
Those are my people.
We watch a lot of The Walking Dead.
Yeah. And you got to be prepared.
You
for
do.
all costs.
We have a go bag. It's hilarious. It is a zombie little medicine sign on it. It's hilarious. It was a gift from Lucky,
That's
of course.
awesome. Amazing.
So yeah, they escape through the cunning use of using the little boy in the adjoining room.
They have to bribe him because they were rude to him the first time around, and now he's like, fuck you, bitches.
Yeah, they just shove some cash under the door. Smart child.
Yeah.
So they get out, and they're driving back to L.A. and, sharing their stories. And Simon wants to escape to Mexico, and Tay Diggs
It's like,
rightly says, like, no, you dum-dum. We're not in a movie. Yeah, we're going home.
you're taking me back to LA. I'm going home.
Yeah.
So, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. I've had a lot to drink.
Pete.
Welcome. Let's talk about Bailey and Zach.
Let's talk about them.
It's their story.
They're very cute.
They are. They're adorable. So, as we mentioned before, these two crazy guys, they got themselves in trouble, and they're on a possession charge. They got a possession charge, and so now they have to set up Rana to try to get a big fish drug dealer in order to make
Yep.
that go away. And they are working with Detective Burke. Oh, I totally forgot about who plays his wife. Is it Malone? Jenna Malone? Is that who?
No, it's
Not Jenna
from
Malone.
30 Rock.
Yeah, I forget what her name is.
Which I think she was still on Ally McBeal at this time.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So, as you look that up.
So yeah, it's so strange though, because you would think like they only got busted on possession.
Right.
So like in the late 90s, apparently this was like a huge PR deal.
Yeah, it
like-
had to be just because they're celebrities that,
Yeah.
like,
Now it would be like, oh, you got busted with like two.
tweet
so what?
an apology.
Yeah,
it would be
exactly.
fine.
Now it's like, whatevs. Oh, it's just ecstasy. It's fine.
That's fine.
Heroin. You might have to go on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Like, or at least like apologize to Ellen.
Yeah, you're going to have to write a letter, and yeah, it's...
There's gonna have to be a letter.
Yeah, exactly. 99, no one cared that much, and unless, like, People magazine found out about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, and that must be it. It must be like just pre-internet. Like everything happens like so fast now.
Right.
There's like people forget about it by the next news cycle. In '99, it was like no one was really like super using the internet. It was all like
Creepers.
AOL chat rooms.
Yep.
That was
And,
about
like,
it.
yeah, but that's basically it. Like, and maybe there were some fan pages about something. Yeah, just like,
With sparkles on
yeah, oh
them.
my God, the sparkles,
GeoCities.
And after, I think, probably right up into that, there was like fan fiction. There was a lot of fan fiction circulated around.
So much fan fiction.
Which, is that something people still do, guys?
It is. Oh my God, it really is.
Is it?
And it's so terrifyingly dirty. Well, that's how
50 Shades.
Yep.
Yeah, I read some. I've read
Ugh.
some very dirty Buffy the Vampire fan fiction.
Yeah, it's very,
Extremely
very
dirty.
awful. Jane Krakowski.
Thank you, Jane Krakowski. Completely wrong, completely off. So Bailey and Zach are going through this whole thing. Burke is, he's got them wired. He's coaching them as to what they have to do. They go into the grocery store. They're looking for Simon, but they end up with Rana because she took Simon's shift. And so apparently everything is a go when she agrees to go ahead and get the drugs for them. And
Some grumbling dogs underneath us. Someone is apparently very anti-drug here. I think it was Professor.
He doesn't like the drugs.
But that's one of the fun things I find about this movie is it's so interesting how many times they find the ability to, at a key moment, use the word go.
Yes.
It's like, when they're running from the drug dealers, or not, or the
Strip
guys in the strip
bouncers,
club.
yeah.
When he's telling her to, get out of this, drug bust kind of deal that she's involved in.
Right.
Driving at the end with, Katie Holmes and everything. It's
Yes.
really neat how they tie it in.
Yeah, and it's curious as to why that was the name of the film. It's not something that could be easily. Well, it's not something that stands out as a word that's being used on
Right.
it. That's the running theme in the film. It's like go, like everybody. So
Yeah.
you say it 50 times a day, 50 different ways. But it's just interesting as to why that was the title for it.
It's cool though. It might go back to exactly what you said. Is having those friends that are if I tell you we need to go right now,
Right.
you're gonna go, and maybe that's it.
That
It's
could
these
be.
were all moments where it was go, no questions
Right.
asked, just boom,
Yeah, they all
Yeah.
were. It was just all right, we need to go now, go.
yeah,
And
let's do this.
they did. God. Okay, so
So yeah, they
Rana
are
gets
in the
there.
grocery store, and they're like, yeah, okay, here's the address.
Right.
She gets there, and we kind of already talked about
Right.
him saying go and get out.
Right. She
that
pieces
was
out.
super sweet.
I know it was because they didn't because Burke is referring to her as some drugged up crack whore or something. And then they're
Yeah.
like, maybe I think this is her first time. I don't think this is what she normally does.
Right.
And he starts to try to her pager goes off because it's Claire.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, busy night. She's like,
It's my friend Claire, not running crazy here.
exactly. And so that kind of falls through for everybody. But they tried. Burke is saying that he'll go ahead and still fulfill his end of the bargain
Nice policeman.
to make it go away. But it's just and this is when it gets great. The way these scenes start to play out, because all this time Burke has kind of been. He asks the guys about their girlfriends and who they're
Yeah.
dating and what they're like and things like that. And he's there's a point after Rana leaves, he's practicing or doing defensive tactics, police tactics on how to properly cuff someone. And then he's
Right.
wrestling the boys to the ground. And Jay Moore, he's playing this just so he's so terrified. The looks on his
So terrified.
And so.
And Bailey's just what?
What's
just
happening?
aghast.
Help me. And Burke is making these comments about, oh, you've got a nice body, you work
Yeah.
out, and
All these crazy homosexual undertones to
exactly.
it, which is what they lead you to believe.
Right.
Mhm.
And he's we're playing it there's something really nefarious that's going to happen now.
Yep.
So at some point, Jay asks if all right, can we go ahead and can you sign the papers now and get us off the hook so this is all said and done so we don't have to worry about this anymore. He's like, well, how about you come to dinner at my house with me and my wife,
Little
we'll
subtle manipulation.
right, and we'll sign them there. And they're like, okay, fine. So they go and things start getting even weirder.
So weird. Where it's he was Jay Moore goes in the bathroom and he comes out, and that's when we see William
Fichtner, Billy's
We'll
Willie.
just call him Billy's Willie. That's perfect. Yes. Sees his butt and he's like, "Hey, do you smell this cologne? It smells just like CK1, right?"
CK1. Oh, 90s.
Oh, CK1. I can smell it right
yes,
now.
I can absolutely still
Yep.
smell CK1.
And it's just we can roll back to the 80s, and I'm like, electrocute.
Oh, God. Oh, electric
Baby
youth.
soft.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Yep. The smells of our youth.
Oh yes, and like it's just lingering in your 8th grade classroom because all the girls are wearing it, and we all don't really know quantity control yet. It's just
and a little bit of white rain.
Yes,
Totally.
Oh, sorry.
No. Stay for a sec. Here, smell this. What does that smell like? CK1, right? Right? But it's not.
Really?
Yeah, I get this stuff for half what that stuff costs.
It's nice.
It's very nice. Hey, try. It's down. So is the liner.
Yeah, it's really soft.
Get on.
Oh, no. I gotta go help with dinner.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Exactly. Individually wrapped springs. Top quality. Hey. I could do aerobics over here and you wouldn't feel it.
I bet I wouldn't.
So, Zach, would you say you're open to new things?
And just like Jay Moore's face is just terrified.
He makes the best faces during this. And while this is happening, Jane Krakowski's in the kitchen licking a mashed potato beater.
Yeah.
And then kissing Bailey.
Yes, she tries to come off innocent with it, like, oh, so those TV kisses with the girls, those aren't real kisses. And he's like, no, it's stage kissing. And she just grabs him and just like goes at it. And he's like, and I love this is like a great. He's like, now see, there was tongue there.
Yeah, small difference. So this is all set up and building to the point where you're like, oh my god, they're
What are
gonna
they, the swingers?
force them. They're gonna take their keys, put them in a bowl, and they're gonna tie these boys down.
There is going to be an orgy, whether these boys like it or not.
And it's all so they can get out of apparently a really minor drug charge. But here, they just want to sell them Amway.
Confederated products.
Confederated products. Yeah, it was the best.
Yes,
like,
they want to get them involved in some pyramid scheme, essentially, and they're like, we can't recruit within the police academy, but we look outside, and they're very hurt when they say, you want us to sell Amway? When they call it Amway, they're very hurt by that.
And they're like, no, it is Confederated products. Wait.
And it's just, I just love the misdirection and the turn that it actually takes, and it's perfect. It's just absolutely perfect.
It's
and
very well done.
so the boys finally get out of there, and Jay Moore is like, I need to bathe in sin. Like, I need to do something completely unwholesome right now.
Yeah.
And they go to the liquor store, and they both admit that they've been cheating on each other with the same guy.
Yep.
How fucking weird.
It's very cute how they say that. And they're like sitting there, and they're like, okay, well, you say. Okay, we'll say it at the same time. And they're like, James in here. And they're like, what? And so they're like,
Cheeks, buy me a Coke.
Okay, I've cheated on you with exactly one guy. Ditto. Who?
No. No, I'm not going to tell you because I'll tell you and you will freak out and it will be drama. Bad, not funny Roseanne kind of drama, and I'm just not up for it.
I'll tell you mine.
No.
Why not?
You can't wait to tell me, can you? You're gloating. You think yours is better than mine.
No, I don't.
It's Sean Connery, isn't it?
Count of 3.
All right, fine.
1,
Wait,
2.
wait. Okay, fine. Count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
Jimmy.
Jimmy and makeup.
Jimmy?
Jimmy? Jimmy?
so they're like, let's go get this dude. And
Right.
he, of course, is at
Mary Xmas. Superfest.
Yes. So they roll in there, and I love how Jay Moore goes up, and it's like, James, and goes up and like starts making out with him, and Bailey comes up from behind, and then they cut his fucking hair off.
Yeah, and not in a cute way, just a chunk, just a
Well
rando
done.
chunk.
Well done, sirs.
That's so, yeah, that's like a real catty move, and I appreciate that.
It's James the hairdresser who works in television.
Yeah, he may have gone home and slit his wrists after that.
Yeah, end of days for him.
But I was confused as to the fact that they had like these little kids, like kindergarten, like safety scissors. They were like the rounded tips and like the plastic.
Well, that's the only thing that you're allowed to take into a rave.
Okay. I'll take that.
They were probably left-handed as well for super safety.
So the boys, they're feeling really good about themselves for exacting revenge.
Jaunty and
Or
cocky.
enacting revenge, and they leave, and they're trying. They've got their Miata. They're driving out of the parking lot, and rave parking lots not always the easiest route to get out. And eventually, they run into literally Rana.
Literally run into her, and we didn't really back up where the story's coming.
Right.
So, this is probably the best time to tell. It's really hard to tell a story with three interlocking stories.
Exactly.
But, so, what was going on? Let's step back to Rana in the car.
Right.
A or B at the optometrist's office. She goes back, trades, back for gets the allergy pills, goes to the rave, and rolls up and is just like, with Claire, starts selling these drugs in the parking lot.
As
to, like,
those
dorky little boys.
Exactly. They know no difference. They go in and they're like, yeah. And what's really good, what you should really do is like, take it with a lot of pot.
Like a lot. And they introduce themselves as Kelly and Donna.
90210.
Yes. So cute. Nice call out, 90s.
Awesome.
And someone like came up to her at the door and she like made the little motion. She's like, show me your tits.
Yes.
And she made the little guy show it. And I was like, Rana's getting hers.
Yes, she's learned some tricks.
And she's running through the rave, and at some point she's like, I'm just selling baby aspirin now.
And these kids, they want a high so bad. They're just like, yeah, I feel it, man.
It's like a wave.
Yeah, smoke some more pot. You
Bless
should
their
absolutely
hearts.
smoke some more pot with it.
And that's what brings up to this point, or close to this point, is
Todd has figured out
yes,
that he's been duped.
Yep, he's who is it that says something to him?
He overhears his line to her, like while he's standing in line and the rave.
Because he just goes to Mary Xmas for because he's a drug dealer.
No, he figured out that Rana had switched the drugs.
Because he was like in his kitchen. He's like, that's not right.
That's bullshit. So he gets there and he's in line and he overhears somebody use the same line that he gave to Rana about these being pharmaceutical grade ecstasy pills.
Frying raver brains.
Right.
Yep.
None of that crunchy raver bullshit.
Yep.
So he's like, fuck this bitch. She's fucked me.
She sure has.
He thinks that she is selling the real stuff while she gave him the fake stuff.
Big flipper-doo, switcheroo.
So she finds him, and all this time, like, Manny sees Todd come in, even though he's rolling face.
Still losing his mind.
And so he finds Rana, tells her, and they start to run, and then Manny's just loses everything at this point. He's shivering, he's sweating, he's vomiting.
Can't run, he's running into walls. He's not the friend that you say, go.
No.
And expect to have a go bag.
No.
And she does the right thing. She leaves him in a pile of garbage in an alley and gets out of there herself.
Exactly. She's like, I can't take care of you right now.
So don't be that friend, people.
Don't be the friend in the pile of trash.
Yeah.
Because you will get left from anybody with a brain, anybody with a real intelligence and self-preservation. They will leave your ass behind.
I will use you as bait to get away from the zombies.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So Rana tries to make a getaway. Todd comes upon her in the parking lot and pulls a gun. And that's when she meets Bailey and Zach's Miata.
Literally meets it pretty hard.
The front end of their Miata.
They scream like little girls.
I love it.
And they take off, and Todd's standing there just like, oh, with his gun. And they're like, well, he's not going to care. We're going to take off. And he just like fucking leaves. And it's like, oh, these are a bunch of very responsible people.
Yeah, so Rana's left in a ditch bleeding. Like, literally, like, this is what your mom fears for you. When when your mom is like, you know what, you're going to end up dead in a ditch somewhere if you do X, Y, and Z.
Always wear clean underwear.
Right. Rana, I hope she had on clean underwear, ends up bleeding in a ditch.
Yep. And that was a very realistic, like, her hitting the car and then, like, the moosh on the windshield and her body flying off. well done. For what I'm assuming was not a very big budget.
No, I can't imagine it
No.
could have been.
So very well done.
So Bailey and Zach are freaking the fuck out. They leave
Yep.
her. They peace out, and they go to a
Gas
gas
kind of
station,
deal.
start to try to clean the blood and the Rana bits off the car.
Jay Moore is definitely the tougher of the two,
Yes.
with the Rana bits.
And poor Bailey is in the bathroom, and he's
Freaking out.
and then he realizes, holy shit, I still have the police tap wire
in my junk.
on my balls.
Yep.
And he feels like they have heard everything or recorded everything that happened.
Very possible.
Because the boys have been trying to discuss whether or not to go back if Rana was actually dead. And what I find also bizarre is that they never really make the connection that that's Rana that they ran over. They
never say that. I
No.
totally didn't pick up
they
on
just
that.
say that some girl, that girl, whatever. And like even when he picks her body up, like they still haven't made the connection
Like,
that that's Rana.
oh my god, this is a girl that we almost...
Yes.
They never say it out loud.
No.
They're such silly boys.
So they're trying to make a decision whether to go back for her, to help her out, or just leave it, or call the police, whatever. They go back, and I think their plan is, I think they think she's dead.
They're absolutely sure she's dead, and they're gonna like hide her body.
Yes. And so, which is a great scene. So Jay Moore's in the
It's
ditch.
So sweet. Bailey's freaking out and crying.
It's like, I can't do this. And it's raining. There's the car's headlights are on them, and Jay Moore is trying to make this better. And he's like, we're just shooting a movie scene. That's it.
Okay.
Say hi to Molly and
Hi, Molly. Hi, Molly. Literally the cute. I mean, for Bailey's sweet little like cherub face.
I
Hi,
know.
Molly.
With his big blue eyes. Hi, Molly. And then, like, eventually he snaps out. Like, he's like, can you smell the veggie burgers that you love so much? Just smell them. And then eventually Bailey snaps out. Like, I'm not fucking delusional. Then Jay
Jay
Moore's
Moore's like, well, grab her fucking arms. Very cute. The two of them together. One of my second favorite part of the movie. Obviously, to the elephant being
Yes.
shirtless.
I just need to make Christmas cards with that scene with the Christmas hat.
Yeah. I guarantee you they are out there somewhere.
They've got to be. Like,
Thank
Cards
you,
Unlimited
Internet.
probably has them. I would like all of the Timothy Oliphant Christmas cards, please. Wrap them up.
I'm getting a big foot bath from Professor.
Professor?
What?
You haven't
Did you
done that in
he was like,
years.
what?
Who, me? No.
What? So yes, and that's kind of, they pick her up. She's still alive.
Yeah, she coughs or something. They realize,
Yeah.
oh, she's still alive. Okay. So
Yeah.
they toss her on top of somebody's car and set the alarm off. And they're like,
Again, the levels of responsibility in this film, mind-blowing.
this is good. This is just as good, right?
This is good enough. And I love how the guy's like, oh my god, it's Kelly.
Somebody beat the crap out of her.
So she wakes up in the hospital,
Poor
Good
thing.
for her.
Mm-hmm.
goes back to work,
Like, limps her ass back to work.
carrying her little cash register tray,
Bless her heart. Poor thing. Poor baby needs
Yeah.
money.
and Claire just glares at her and is like, where's Manny?
Like, fuck.
So my question is, did they leave work right then to go find
Yeah,
Manny?
I was wondering too. Or
Yeah.
did they wait to the end of their shift?
I think they probably had to wait till the end of
They
the shift.
probably did.
Because it seems like the shifts were pretty serious there.
Yeah, they would have gotten fired otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, like, I worked in places like that. Like, when they're, like, sitting back in the milk crate and they're, like, talking about the different things and they're, like, fucking off on their break.
Mm.
Like, I had jobs like that where we cared so little.
Yeah.
But you were required to be there for 8 hours.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the
And you did it
what you
for
were
work.
doing, yeah, what you were doing in those 8 hours was very questionable. It was like, whatever, it's kind of lenient, but you need to physically be here
Exactly.
for these 8 hours.
I'm assuming that they waited till the end of the shift and went back to get Manny.
That's the only thing that makes
They
sense to
should
me
have just
because
left him. He was useless.
because there was no way he was dead weight.
Yeah.
There was no way I would have foreseen that manager who was like, your break was over 2 minutes ago,
Yes.
allowing them to go find Manny, both of them.
The moment where they pull the milk back from the customer.
Yes.
And the woman's like, oh, you can't wrap chemicals with food.
Yeah.
And she was like, ugh. And the woman's like,
I used to have your job.
yeah. I'm like, like that was some real life bullshit, right? Like that whole little bit there. I'm like, I did that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I guess we kind of get as a sort of a treat. Like at the end, they don't make it so, but it's Claire's. I guess it's kind of Claire's point of view. She has been, she's not with Manny and Rana, and she's still she's leaving the rave at 6 a.m. or whatever.
All by herself.
She can't get in the car. She doesn't have the car keys, and so I guess she walks her happy ass to.
Because she's like walking across like a bridge
Yeah.
on the side of the road, and it's raining still.
Yeah.
And she goes to the restaurant where they all used to meet, and she just like sits down.
And she runs into Todd Gaines,
who is still looking very handsome, by the way. Very handsome for 7 a.m.
Yes. And she takes her annoying ass over there and gives him some annoying conversation, and she starts being annoying and talking about, surprise, and Christmas, and me.
I mean, if you thought about it yesterday, like, the two of us would be here, like, who'da thunk it?
Barf.
And then he tells the story about the family circus.
Which I agree with 110%.
Just sitting there waiting to suck. So true. That
is like
fucking
true life.
Marmaduke.
Yes, that
so
is
awful.
true life right there, people. Because seriously, there have been many a times where it's like you read the good ones, and you go through, and you're like, yeah, I've had a very hearty chuckle. And then at the very end, you've got Marmaduke and Family Circus. I don't really want to read them.
No,
they're just one panel though.
But
they're
you
just
can't
right there.
not look
I
at
know,
them.
right? But they're right there. Oh, it's another footprint thing with PJ and and you.
Where's he gonna go? I have to find out. What kind of shenanigans did he get up to? Just put Bizarro at the end.
Yeah, and then you read it and you're just like, well, that
or even
was
the pluggers. Put them at the end. Just switch them. Over the Hedge really is the best.
Oh
one.
God, it's so good.
Oh, my dad is passionate about Over the Hedge. You met my dad.
Yes.
Can you understand why?
I love it.
Yes.
I absolutely love it.
The cool thing, though, that I like about that whole little scene with him, because, like, when they were together in his apartment, there was, like, kind of this, like, little sexual tension building, and then when they're in the diner, he's still, like, he's very intrigued by her.
Right. He's like, I can't figure this broad out.
Yeah, and she's still like, maybe he's a sexy drug dealer, maybe he's not that bad, and he's, like, kind of very appealing and enigmatic. Exactly how I felt about all these really awful guys that I dated in the 90s.
We have all been there.
This movie strikes so much home with me
Oh my
because
God.
Todd.
You had a Todd.
I had about 12 Todds. So many. Like, I was just like, oh, shoot. You're so dumb. Oh, you're an awful person. Oh, God, you are dirty. Like, you're just like a filthy, dirty person.
You have nothing interesting about you whatsoever.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like there's always this like little like hazy mystique about these people. And
It's like,
Katie
oh.
Holmes is going through this, and they're
It's like, oh, I see now why that you keep your mouth shut most of the time.
you just look pretty. You do that. So they're like there, and it's like feeling. And then they're like, cute little family circus thing, and then they cut to like making out on his stairs, and it's like, oh, we're gonna have this like. Yes, we did it. We felt against all odds. These two opposites are going to come together.
Star-crossed lovers.
Yes. And who shows up?
Strip club bouncer dad.
That's right. With his dumb shot son. Traced by the credit card.
Like, God, apparently this is not the first time something like this has happened or they've had to track somebody down.
They're on it.
Like, they have a plan.
This is pre-Google.
Yes.
They're using fucking yellow pages.
Yeah, like
and
the dude.
operators.
Right, the dude at one point, he's like, seriously, like, got the yellow pages out in a phone booth. There's another point, he's like, yeah, Joe, I need you to track a credit card for me at Todd Gaines. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What, do you just have somebody that works at MasterCard? Does that?
Yeah. Now I would be like Todd Gaines, and I'd be like, oh, et cetera, Google. Oh, look, there's his Facebook account. Oh, he's here right now. Let's just go find him.
Right. It seems to be having like a black bean burger at the local diner.
He's at the diner talking about Family Circus. Oh, he checked into that location with Claire.
They're both there.
Wonderful.
Twofer.
I'll bet private detectives don't really make as much money now.
No, they can't, because I would guarantee like most 16-year-old girls are better
Probably
than most private detectives.
solid stalkers. Like they even know not to hit that like double tap on an Instagram from 3 years ago.
No,
Don't do
fuck that. What the hell?
I know, right?
It's like you can like it in your head, but now you're just being weird. Like, don't go.
Fuck up.
No,
Yep.
You don't do it.
So, and this is the moment where the Todd beauty collapses because he's instantly drawing them a map. And he's like, so this time of day, don't go down La Cienega. Like, you want to take this. The best parking spot is here. On the way, stop and get coffee from this place to get to Simon's apartment. And she was like,
Why don't you just drive them there?
yeah. I was humping you on the stairs with your tongue in my mouth 30 seconds ago.
You have ruined it.
Yep, and that's what happens. And thank God for her, it happened so early.
Right.
She's
She
not
was pre-penetration.
Yep.
She didn't.
She's not 3 weeks in.
Like sitting on the couch for like the 5th night in a row, just like,
"Ugh,
what has happened?
why did I make these choices? Oh, my life. How am I going to get away from him? Yep. She fortunately, 3 hours? That's what she had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good for you.
Solid.
Claire.
Yeah. Way to dodge that bullet.
Yeah.
Literally.
Speaking of dodging a bullet, his face, because the thing is, like, 'cause Simon comes running in.
Yeah,
obviously.
Simon, because he wants to lay low there, but now,
Oh, wait, the
Wait a
people I'm
minute.
trying to hide from are here.
yes.
And so they decide that what they're going to do, and I'm literally acting this out for Kahmeela right now, is the trade-off is that the son gets to shoot Simon
Yes.
in the fleshy part of the arm. So they're like
Yes.
drawing an X. Claire's literally looking at them like, are you all fucking crazy?
Yes.
She's the only adult in the room.
Right.
Literally the only adult.
Todd is like a 2-year-old at a magic show.
His face?
There is so much
Oh.
wonderment and awe
Yep.
and anticipation.
Yeah. And that's the face you want to look out for, ladies. When you start dating a guy, if he makes that face about anything like monster truck rallies, music that involves screaming like this,
Yeah. Rah, 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 rah. Yeah. Any of
anything
that
like that.
bullshit.
Yeah. I would say wrestling, and that's a personal thing for me.
That's for me too.
Yeah. Any of this, just be on the lookout for that face.
Yes.
Watch the movie just for that face.
Yeah, like basically know what you are not willing to put up with, and then look for that face in any of those things that you are not willing to put up with.
Correct.
Like, yes, wrestling is also a thing for me. It's definitely like, no, we can't do this.
No.
I refuse.
If you're going to be partners with someone, no matter how much you're like, I'm not interested in that, and you have your own time,
Right.
it's going to be part of your life, ladies.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
us
Yes.
elderly
A couple
ladies
old married women.
share that with you.
Sometimes you think that things will not affect you. It's like, oh, no, we'll have our 2 separate lives. No.
Nope.
You will still be inundated with the consistent talk.
Yep.
The excessive glee.
Yep.
The spending of money, of the household money on things that you find very frivolous and irrelevant, but they such glee and joy and just amorous
so
nature.
Much. I know far too much about Dungeons and Dragons.
Good Lord.
I
God
could tell
bless
you
you.
about +20 agility. Like, I know way too much counting arrows.
Oh my God.
Yep. I never thought, ladies, that I would be part of that world. But here we are 12 years later.
Fucking love.
And I can tell you about it. And Star Wars Legos, I mean, basically, Star Wars Legos are a retirement fund at this point. So, you'll never escape it. So, when they make that face, run quickly.
Yes. You have to really decide in that moment, is this something
Mm-hmm.
that I can deal with? Luckily, I managed to get one who gives 2 shits about football.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah.
Seriously, you
No
guys, I mean,
sports.
really? Yeah, he has doesn't
God.
care about it whatsoever, because I have found out that, like, the sound of football on the TV, like the football games, that really kind of grates my nerves. Like, and apparently what we have come to realize as of late is that I think Dan enjoys anime, which is like a newfound thing, and anime makes me physically angry.
Okay, can Dan hear us right now?
No.
My Dan also loves anime. When we first started dating, he made me watch all, like, 40-some hours of, shoot, I can't remember what it's called. It's this huge thing, and there's a pen, and these small girls in big, giant neon Evangelon. Jesus Pete. Okay, we cannot let them know that they are both interested in this.
No.
It will be the end of days.
No.
Oh, wait a second.
Or it would be amazing. We can put them together in a room.
It's like when people have toddlers. And we can go do our own thing.
Yes.
They'll be so occupied.
We can just go shopping.
I think we might have to like weigh the pros and cons of this.
Yeah, we have to figure
look
this out.
into this.
Yeah.
It could really backfire
I mean,
on us.
You've got the house with 3 levels.
True.
And I will soon have a house with 3 levels.
Well, there's lots of room for, husband avoidance.
Yes. So we might be able to play this. If we play our cards right, we might be able to do this.
Yeah.
Work this out right.
Let's do this.
We have like a strategy room. Like the war room. Okay, now here is where you...
So when the boys eventually find this, they're going to be like, are they planning to murder us?
It's like, I don't...
There's so many pins with strings attached. And it talks about, like, anime and different locations.
I don't know where this all really goes. Where does it start?
It looks fun, though. Wait. Oh, one of these says booze.
Let's follow that one.
They're going to get us drunk. That'll work. Who cares what happens? We'll be tipsy.
So, yes.
That is
go. Yeah, that is go. There is one little fun fact that I did see is that apparently sex is repeatedly a bad omen in this film. Rana and Todd talk about sex as a metaphor for betrayal in all of their scenes. I don't give my best friend's head. Mm-hmm. Simon is having sex when the hotel room catches a fire. Zach and Adam talk about how they both cheated on each other with Jimmy and getting the revenge on him before accidentally running Rana over. And Todd and Claire on the stairs before they meet the strip club bouncers.
I would think drugs would be the problem in this movie.
Drugs seems to be the bad omen because we've got the drug dealer who's dealing the drugs to Rana, who's looking for the drugs because Adam and Zach need drugs because they've been caught up in a drug charge.
The drug busted and the drug buster.
Exactly. So, yeah, I feel like you kind of missed the mark there.
I'm also going to guess, just from Rana and her character, that she needs this rent money, but was probably also buying pot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that she wasn't, like, budgeting correctly.
No. Yeah. You have a job, apparently, and you've already worked 14 hours in one day, so you've already double shifted. So I feel like you're not working.
Yep.
So you just don't know how to do a budget.
Like, I've been in Rana's position many times in my life. I've been very poor very many times.
Yeah.
But I always seem to have enough money to have fun.
Amen. Yes, there's always that. Like,
it's true.
I was thinking about that when I was watching this, and I was thinking back on my own rave days, and I'm like, how much were... Because I know it wasn't cheap to get into raves.
No, it was like $40.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how the hell... Like, I was waiting tables around this time in my life and going to school. Like, waiting tables part-time. Like, how did I manage to do this?
I actually have a fun personal story to tell you about this. I had to go to a rave at Beachland Ballroom.
You had
in
to go
Cleveland.
to a rave?
I had to. It was a very, very big rave. And it was like $40 or $60 to get in. I can't remember. Plus, like, just the cost of getting there and everything. And so I tried selling all my CDs on the street in Oakland.
On the street? Not even going to CD warehouse or...
No, that didn't exist. This was like 1996 or something.
Oh, wow.
No, it was 1995. Yeah, so I'm like on Atwood Street. I didn't even go to the main street. I was just sitting on Atwood on my porch, and I was like, hey, random people, do you want to buy a CD? And they're like, no, I am also poor because I live on Atwood Street. So I couldn't sell you my CDs. And it was like 9 Inch Nails. Like, everyone had Pretty Hate Machine. No one wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was just kind of a sign thing. Like, you were just giving them out at college dorms.
It was a really bad business plan. So I went and took a job at the Subway up the street just so I could make enough money. I already had 2 other jobs, mind you. I made bagels at Brugger's from like 4 a.m. till 8 a.m. I went to class all day, and then I waitressed
4
at...
a.m. to 8 a.m.
Yep.
Ugh.
Went to class all day, did homework, and then I worked at a bar from 8 a.m. till 3 a.m. And I worked those 2 jobs 5 days a week.
Oh my God.
And so, like, I don't know when I slept. It was very strange. But I paid my way through college. So I took a 3rd job at Subway to make a little extra money so I could go to this rave.
How did you, where did this job fit in?
I don't know. I worked there for 3 weeks and ended up, one day I had to work.
Owing them money?
Yeah. I had enough money finally, and so I had like a 2 to 10 shift or something, and I called off. I had my roommate call off for me, and she called because sorry, Mom, we were smoking a lot of pot that day because I had a rando day off, and I had her call me off, and she called the manager at Subway and was like, Jessica died. And the manager was like, oh my God, that's so awful.
Oh my God.
Because then I'm like, I never have to go back.
Jessica.
I was like, I never have to go back. Did not think it through that the Subway is literally around the corner from my apartment. I had to walk past it every day to go to work at both of my jobs and to go to class and to go get coffee or to get groceries or anything.
Oh my God.
So later that day, as we're smoking more pot, we decide to go up to like Beehive or something and get coffee. And so I'm walking past on the other side of the street, mind you. My manager sees me from the Subway, comes running out, yells across the street, I thought you died! And I'm not in a good place. And I was like, Jody, did I die? I was like, what if I died? Thank you, people. I was 19. The manager was super mad at me, by the way. But I got enough money to go to that rave.
I have never heard anybody call off dead.
I called off dead. Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Where is your life story? Like, when is that? When are those memoirs? When is that movie coming out?
Unfortunately, there's so many holes, though. So many holes. So, I'll run into, like, talk with old friends or something, and they're like, oh my God, do you remember the time you did that? And I'm like, nope.
Okay, I thought that was just me. Like, I've had that a lot, too, as to where, like, oh, remember this?
No. And it's not even times that I was, like, even, like, drinking or anything.
No, it's just regular shit.
Yeah, like, do you remember that time we went to the park, and, like, there were these geese that attacked you? I'm like, nope.
I'm like, why don't I remember this stuff?
Nope.
It starts to make me a little concerned.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Alzheimer's.
It's true. We just have, more things to think about, like our extensive knowledge of celebrity history and gossip.
Yeah, that's what's pushing out all those real life moments.
It's true. Forgetting my life because I know all about Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, exactly. It's how long Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes have been together, or
I have the answer for you for that. Too long.
I was all excited when I heard all like the so-called rumors about, he's gonna, like, Eva gave him a ultimatum, marry me before Christmas or it's over, and blah blah blah, and I felt like, well, Ryan's not the type to deal well with ultimatums, so he's.
You're like, I have investment in this. I have knowledge of his like personal feelings and psyche.
But I just have to stop, like, seriously, because it's going to drive me crazy. Because I can't deal with that. Like, it's fine, whatever. You've got a baby. Did you see him on SNL?
Yes, I did.
So funny. Like, the Santa baby one, that
so cute,
was hilarious. But it's like, what did he say? Santa or Rudolph's not here? And then he breaks the cake and he's like, well, how the fuck did Santa Claus get?
He's just so deadpan and delightful.
Oh my God.
And one of the things that made me love him the most is, that Ryan doesn't want his cereal.
Yes.
So the guy that made that, he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Gosling made the little, like, where he eats the cereal
yes.
video, and I was like, could you be more perfect and amazing? And I cry over that, like I cry over like dog videos. So ridiculous. Speaking of dog videos, you watch these Facebook dog videos, right?
Yes.
Where like these dogs are doing
amazing things like building houses,
pictures, and like
catching soccer balls.
What is with our dogs?
They, all they do is they suck up the energy out of the room.
I know. I was like watching something today where this dog literally like grabbed the other dog around the shoulder to pose for a picture, and then like went in and like leaned in, and I'm like, My dogs are like, look, I rolled over.
Yeah.
I showed you my belly.
My dogs are actually,
pet it.
most of the times will run, like, they'll be doing something cute. I pull out the camera, and it's like, nope, it's over, and it's done.
No.
And they move, and I'm like, all right, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
You have one job. Just be cute.
Just be cute.
Let me capture it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But, like, there's all these smart dogs. Like, oh, my God, this pit bull that, like, stood over his owner while, like, the house was on fire.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And I'm like, my dogs would, like, just run and leave me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I guarantee you these two,
They would
these
be like,
douche...
hey, look, I'm only, like, 6 by 6, and there's a hole. I'm going to run out there.
Good luck.
I'm not even going to bark outside to let someone know something's happening. I'm going to be like, I'm sad, and just go with a new owner and forget about you.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
Like, good luck with that.
I hope someone smells the smoke soon.
I'll always remember you fondly.
Oh, wait, I forgot about you already because they gave me a treat.
Exactly.
Yep.
Ungrateful, lazy
Jerks.
Oh, yeah.
They're so cute.
Oh, you're so lucky. You're so cute, you bastards.
Exactly. Just like Timothy Oliphant. He's lucky he's so cute in this movie.
Yes. So what they're claiming on the interwebs is that the letter X or the figure X is a recurring motif.
I love how you did that.
The figure X, like, it's the motif in the film. Malcolm X, Xerxes, X equals ecstasy, Mary Xmas, room 660 of the Riviera. The X Simon draws on his arm as a target. And at the end, it's revealed that the rave was held in what is otherwise an triple X porn emporium.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I don't know what that means, if anything. But, yeah, so X was highly relevant here. And, so, star rating, 1 through 5. What would you give it?
So, I have watched this movie, I kid you not, at least like 40 or 50 times. Just because.
Ditto.
Yeah, it's just so delightful when you can put it on, like Clueless or something, or just you watch it and it's wonderful. So for passion, I totally, like, my Netflix, I assure you, has a 5-star rating for this movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine is the same.
Yeah. If it was like quality of film, like to the public, I'd give it like a 4.
Ditto, yes. I give it a 4 also for, like, a all-around quality of film, yes.
Yeah.
But as far as, like, being among one of my go-tos, or yes, I will absolutely watch this whenever it's on, it's 5.
Yeah.
All about, like, yes, full on. And for Timothy Oliphant.
Exactly. I mean, it's a fun, quality film. It's well written. It's well acted. It's well done. I don't think it's particularly, like, cheesy or schlocky or anything.
No, and it's not, like, breaking any boundaries either at the same time, but it's still well done.
Yeah.
Like, it was, and it's not easy intertwining the 3 perspectives of the same
so well done
scenario. So yeah, it's actually rather seamless.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't left with any question, like, any questions, like, outstanding things about between the storylines or whatnot. So yeah.
The phone call between the dudes in Vegas and Todd, like that.
Yeah.
Interpreted 2 different ways, and it's the exact same conversation. It's very well written.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And even like when Simon at the very beginning, like I think they start off each one with Simon asking Rana about
in different ways.
Yeah.
And
take
it's like, oh, she just worked 40 hours. Don't ask her.
Yeah. So I think it's
you can see why the director went on to do things such as The Bourne Identity. He did the whole Bourne series.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Doug Liman, yeah.
Liman? Yes. Well done. I haven't watched all of those. I feel like I may have seen the first one in bits and pieces, but I don't think I've seen. Is that something your Dan is into?
Maybe it's be me.
Oh, it's you. Yeah, you are the Bourne Identity.
Know
Are you Bourne Identity or Matt Damon?
I'm a bad action movie. It's basically The Expendables is like one of my favorite things in the world.
Which, God.
It's so awful.
Oh my God. I can't.
The Expendables and Die Hard are like.
There's a little special place in your heart.
Yeah, that's what my dad and I do every year for my birthday. We go see The Expendables new awful schlock fest.
I wonder how many they're going to have.
Well, they better get more because I'm going to turn 40 in August, and if they don't have an Expendables 4 named For Jessica, I'm going to be jacked.
Expendables 4 Jessica 4 oh.
I want it to happen. But
who would be what? I mean, you want the same action heroes that are in there now, or are there?
I mean, they had everyone in the last. I mean, even Harrison Ford showed up.
Really?
Bruce Willis shows up, and all the usual people. Jason Statham is always there. Sylvester Stallone, fun fact, currently nominated for a Golden Globe.
For what?
Creed. Supporting actor in Creed.
Oh, wow. Supporting
Which
actor.
I have heard is pretty quality.
I want to
Michael
see
B.
it.
Jordan.
Yeah.
So good.
He's the reason why I went to see that piece of shit Fantastic Four movie.
I know. He's such a great actor.
Yeah.
So I'll wait till it comes out on DVD.
Yeah, I do want to see it.
Whatever.
Like, I really do want to see Creed.
It's not a film, like a movie theater thing.
A lot of things. I'd like to see things blowing up and whatnot when I go to the movie theater.
It has to be fantastical.
Yeah, I need like a lot of shebang.
Exactly.
I mean, just like, I do enjoy just dialogue-heavy films, but I don't need to go to the theater for that.
Nope. I cuddle dogs at home and I watch it. That's where it goes.
Exactly.
But for things blowing up, that has to
Special
be done with
effects.
popcorn like this.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. Slushies and popcorn. I'm on a sugar high.
Yes.
Of carbs and
I
salt.
do enjoy the slushie at
So
the
good.
theater all the time.
Yeah.
So, are you down to watch Go again?
Oh, I will. I guarantee you watch it at least another 40 times in my lifetime.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutes. And if you guys are interested in watching Go, it is available to stream, to rent on Amazon for $2.99 right now.
And I just went ahead and bought it because, like I
Like,
said,
why didn't
I
you
know
own
it's
it?
gonna happen.
It's just one of those things like, why don't I already own this?
I know. I was very surprised I didn't have it on DVD.
Yeah, I feel like, I've had this DVD for quite some time now. I think this is one of the ones that, like when Giant Eagle would sell the previewed Eagle video.
Exactly.
I feel like that's when I purchased this DVD.
I have a few Blockbuster video cased things. I'm
Oh,
not gonna lie
God.
to you.
And Hollywood video.
Mhm.
Yes. So the Bechdel test. Does this film pass the Bechdel test? For those of you who are not familiar with what the Bechdel test is, it goes like this. It has to have at least 2 named women in it. Check. Rana and Claire.
Mhm.
They have to talk to each other. Check. About something besides a man. Check.
Mhm.
There's
I think I know what scene you're talking about.
when they're in the car together and she crowns her and she asks her what she's going to do about her rent money.
I wasn't thinking of that one, but that is a very good one.
What
I
were
was
you thinking
about doing the favor on the porch.
Oh, yeah.
Which
is like, that bracelet of mine you're wearing, that's an accessory.
Don't make me an accessory. Yeah.
Yes.
So there was a couple moments
Yeah.
of Bechdel test in there.
So well done, Go, for passing the
that.
Bechdel test. We love it. So as we wrap up, is there any points about Go that you would like to touch on or that we've missed?
Just that everyone should have a special love for 90s movies.
Absolutely.
Because we didn't talk about the soundtrack.
Holy cat
Jesus
weasels.
Keats.
Okay, so the soundtrack. My absolute favorite song is No Doubt's New.
Yes.
From the soundtrack. It's flipping amazing. We've also got Len, Steal My Sunshine.
Steal my sunshine. So 90s.
Oh my God. And there's
They're
also
like the poor man's No Doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. They probably lasted for about an hour. And there's the remake of Magic Carpet Ride.
Yep.
We've also got Massive Attack Angel. God, and I think there's also Air, Talisman by Air, which is a really good one. I had to Shazam that to find out what that one was. Shazam.
But it's just like all these 90s movies have. There's such like slice of
that moment.
just exactly like 80s movies are. Like it's so just encapsulated in that time.
Yeah, it absolutely puts you right back in that place of where you were at that point in time when that song was popular. And yeah, I feel like I'm wearing my Janko jeans when I hear "Steal My Sunshine." Like because that's what the girls was. And you're right, that was like a poor man's No Doubt.
I want to put my hair in like the little twisties, get a little choker, and like a little like half shirt kind of deal, and my like baggy pants.
Yeah.
My platform rollers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it was a simpler time. Like 80s and 90s music will always have such a special place.
Let's not even start talking about KOTB.
What? And yeah, so yeah, like I said, Len, and then my absolute favorite would be New by No Doubt. Like this one is my jam.
And it's so. This is, I think, the most. Other than I'm Just a Girl. This is the most 90s of the No Doubt.
Yeah, I can damn near smell like the rave sweat.
I feel like I'm working in Avalon again.
It's so perfect. So while we're talking about Gwen and No Doubt, what are your thoughts on the whole Gwen and Blake and Gavin fucking it up?
Oh, so my whole thought is it's just basically around Gwen Stefani has terrible taste in men. She could do so much better. Gavin Rossdale, Blake Shelton, come on.
it's just kind of like hitting like B, C lists. Like Gwen, you are A list.
Yeah.
Like I need you to think higher. Like, you need to do better, baby.
She needs to start like dating some like really handsome actors.
Oh yeah.
Not Tom Hardy.
Oh fuck no, we would be over.
Not
Like
Ryan
seriously.
Gosling.
Oh my god.
I can see her with a nice who's the guy that's gonna be playing Walking Dead. He's gonna be playing the new guy, the new bad. He's on CBS right now.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember what his name is.
He played the dude that died on Grey's Anatomy. I could see her with someone like him. Like a really nice, like solid, sexy actor.
Yeah, I'm afraid that she's going to end up trying to do country music.
Oh, she does not have the voice for that.
She barely has the voice for what she's doing now. Like, I do enjoy Gwen's music, yes, but I can't. I'm going to need. Like, it's just.
She sings in character voice.
She does.
She's not a singer.
No.
She's a character singer.
She is a character singer.
That is why I'm only good at certain songs at karaoke, because I am a character singer, not an actual singer.
That is interesting. I have never heard of that.
Kahmeela can like rock basically any song when it comes to karaoke. I've heard this. Don't make that face. I have experienced this. And then I'm like, I'll get really tipsy and think I'm a rock star and be like, I bless the rains down in Africa. And then like hear it the next day and be like, oh, I was really drunk. Damn it. Why did I do that?
It's like, and looking at your husband, I thought you loved me.
He wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
He would have stopped me.
He would have
He would have been like, no, honey, don't write that song down. I remember once I was singing that song from Mr. Brightside. Mr. Brightside.
Oh, the Killers.
Yeah. I was singing that, and my girlfriend, Mamie, was there with her now husband, Josh, and my husband was there too. But Mamie said, when I started singing that song at karaoke, she just turned to Josh and she goes, go help her.
That's friend.
I was like, that is a friend.
That's love right there.
That's someone you can be like, go.
Exactly.
And they will do it. Yep.
Oh my god. I don't know why. It's like I'm trying to look for this actor's name who's playing Negan.
He's definitely playing Negan.
Yes. And I found a picture, but it's not.
He was a guy on...
No. You're wrong, Professor.
No,
You
Professor. He was not on Kids Incorporated.
You're wrong, he was. Oh, I did want. I wanted Kevin Durant to play Negan.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
I love that man so hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. So, fun fact, when you texted me earlier today.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan!
There it is.
He has 3 names. We should have known that. Yes, she needs to be dating someone like him.
Yes.
A very handsome. I think she's at high, like an A-list television actor or like a B-list movie actor.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that.
Yep, she's batting too low.
Well, I'm disappointed in you, Gavin, for taking her for granted, but you may be on the B list of my list.
And cheating on her with your boyfriends, your girlfriends,
with your fucking
everyone.
Nanny. Are you
Everyone.
kidding me? You're such a cliche.
I know.
And on that note, we're going to wrap this up here. So thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Kahmeela.
We have talked quite a bit about Go. So, and we we urge you guys to please reconsider Go as a Christmas movie.
It is. It's a Christmas movie. We promise.
Christmas is a time for giving, and so
and ecstasy and shooting people
and rolling
and
and
Vegas.
yeah, it's just like it's not Christmas unless you shoot someone in the fleshy part of their arm.
Exactly.
So tweet Down to Watch at DTW Podcast. Tell me what you thought of Go, what you think of Go. You can also leave a message on the Down to Watch Facebook page and send an email, downtowatchpodcast@gmail.com. So until next time, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy holidays all around.
Bye, everyone. Go. Watch Go right now.
Go!
Whoa.
This has been a Rugged Angel production.